So we've explored the vulnerabilities in this application, and obviously the vulnerability management team is going to follow their patch management regimen. And obviously there's times when you can't patch. So the question is, what do you do? And the answer is, we've built a tool into Illumio that allows you to mitigate your vulnerabilities using Policy Generator, which has been in the product and is part of the Illumio Adaptive Security Platform. So what I'm going to choose to do here is to look at this application, and I want to quickly draw your eyes to something. On the bottom right here, what you'll notice is there are these columns. These columns correspond to the highest severity vulnerability in that application. So critical to the far right, high, medium, low, and just informational. You'll notice that there's rows. The first row is constrained. What constrained means is we're going to basically apply a firewall to reduce the exposure of those vulnerabilities. And the next one is blocked. What that means is that there is a vulnerability on a host, and we've never detected any traffic going into or out of the port with that vulnerability. So in some cases, we can just choose to close off traffic and block that port because there's been no traffic and we know it's not going to break an application. An important point here is that we don't want to arbitrarily just block vulnerabilities. So what we do is we look at the traffic to tune the micro-segmentation strategy. Now, on the left side, we've always had app group level, role level, and nano segmentation. But you'll notice that there's a new level, which it allows you to tune the micro-segmentation strategy based on the criticality of your vulnerabilities. Let's take a look at what happens. So right now, as you can see, there's no critical vulnerabilities in this application. And so we may be tuning our micro-segmentation around critical vulnerabilities, but there are none, so therefore there would be no impact. What I'll do now is I'll slide how I tune our micro-segmentation strategy just to high. What that means is that the Illumio Adaptive Security Platform and Policy Generator are going to look at the exposure of your high vulnerabilities and optimize the micro-segmentation strategy to ensure that you don't have excessive exposure by tuning the firewall for least privileged connectivity. You'll notice on the left here, as I do this, as I mouse over, it'll show you which vulnerabilities are actually being addressed by each one of the rules. And I can tune this micro-segmentation down to whatever level of vulnerabilities. And as you notice, as I drag this back and forth, it describes for you how many vulnerabilities are being constrained or filtered using the firewall within Illumio, and how many are blocked. Once again, that's because we haven't detected any traffic on a port, and that port has a vulnerability attached to it. When you feel like you have the right policy that you're tuning your micro-segmentation to, you can select Next, and here's something really cool. We're going to show you what your risk was before and after. So before on your web tier, you had a bunch of vulnerabilities, and here was your exposure before, and here's your risk and exposure afterward. And so you can sort of do a comparative of how much better your micro-segmentation solution will be. And when you're ready to, you can save that and ultimately provision that into production.